Who are you?
I'm Bill Gates, Chief Software Architect at Microsoft.
Wow. Well, thanks for being with us. I know your time's pretty short today. A few weeks ago, we interviewed Mark McDonald, the first Microsoft employee, right? And he told us about when Microsoft started, they were in a small apartment, the whole dev team. What's the most surprising thing that's happened to Microsoft since those early days, or to you?
Well, I think the most amazing thing is that the dream that we had back then about the importance of software and that this whole personal computer thing would happen, that's actually become a reality. You know, we thought we were kind of just some crazy guys, and as Mark said, we had a deck writer terminal in the apartment, and you know, we'd get up and write code in the morning, and we'd be there 24 hours later. It was all just 8080 assembler code, the first basic interpreter. And we really thought it was something quite important, and you know, we thought we saw something that others didn't. We thought all the computer companies in the world were just missing out, and this was going to change their world. And every part of that became true. The machines still don't understand speech, and they're still not as simple as we dreamed of. But you know, give us another 10, 15 years, and I think we'll solve those problems too.
Many people must wonder, why are you still working? I mean, you really don't need to work for the reasons, you know, I need to work. Right?
Well, I think there's a lot of people who work for reasons other than just plain economics. And my job is as interesting a job as I can imagine. The smart people I get to work with, the problems we're working on are just so interesting. And the dream of what the PC should be, we're not there yet. You know, it's not simple enough, it's not secure enough. You know, writing programs, when people write business applications, it's still largely duplicative. We haven't boiled it down to the simplest thing where you can just edit that business process and the things happen automatically. You know, Office is great, but it still doesn't let me share and collaborate the way that I'd like to. All my communications tools, you know, make me think about phone numbers and replication and different interfaces. It's way too hard. And it's within the power of software, the software industry, Microsoft and its partners, to solve every one of those problems. I'll say in the next 10 years, but my scheduling capabilities aren't my strongest suit. Sometimes things I say will happen in 10 take quite a bit longer. And so the software industry, this is the coolest time in the software industry, and it's the best industry there is. You know, we're enabling so many things to go on. The hardware guys have given us the tools. They're giving us better screens, high-speed wireless, big disks, and there's almost nothing we could dream about that those hardware guys aren't going to hand us. And the whole thing about does it come together or not, is TV revolutionized? Do students not have textbooks but these little tablets? That's a software problem.
If there's one technology trend to pay attention to right now, what is it?
Well, I think people underestimate how natural interface will change things, and that's these things that have been out there for ages. You know, cameras are cheap, so can you know what's going on? Who's there? Is he paying attention to the screen? Is he meeting with somebody? Speech recognition is right on the verge, where on the mobile phone, if you want to search and find something, that'll be the way you do it.
I remember at MVP summits, every year we ask you, is speech going to be here this next year? Is it close? Is it going to be something that we're going to see soon?
Well, the quality keeps getting better, and then at some point there's a magic threshold where it just becomes common sense to use it. And I believe that's within the next 5 years, say 2 to 5 year time frame. Certainly Microsoft's investment in this is higher than ever, and we see those quality improvements. Part of it's these array microphones will help us gather the information better. Partly having a model of what words you might use, where we do what's called harvesting your documents and look at the email names you use a lot, understanding the context, and better input models. We'll make speech mainstream. I've been saying speech, I've been saying tablet, I've been talking about unified file system. There's some of these dreams that, darn it, I'm going to make sure we achieve them.
Well, you mentioned my favorite thing, the tablet PC, too. you know, and I've gotten around your company with this little camcorder,
Yeah.
and my favorite three teams are the tablet PC team, the Virtual Earth team, and the Windows Media Center team. Is the tablet still happening? I mean, I keep hearing,
absolutely.
I keep hearing
The
it, the
hardware-
naysayers, you know.
Well, yeah, and you know that's fine. You know, Windows had its naysayers, and we proved them wrong. And you know, every Office category we were in, people thought we wouldn't do that well, but you know, we've done very well there. So we're very persistent. You know, take something like IPTV. We started more than 10 years ago, and now very few people would say that wasn't a good investment, but even a year ago it might have seemed that way. Likewise, the database, you know, taking on Oracle, that's a long-term thing. You got to do really incredible work. Taking on Sony in video games, taking on Nokia in phones. We take the hard ones. Tablet is one I love because we're out there alone. There is no competitor. You can't say, you know, it's the Microsoft tablet versus somebody else's tablet. But that idea that a student for $500 can have something, all their textbooks are there, the whole internet is there, communicating rich ways are there, it's lighter than their textbooks. Over a period of years, it's actually cheaper.
Now wait a second, $500?
Well, this is
I want a $500 tablet.
Not today. We've got pretty good tablets, say at $1,200 or so.
Yeah.
Over the next 3 or 4 years, it's just going to get lighter and thinner, and the software is going to get better and better. And so the dream, not today's reality, the dream is that student tablet. Now, even before then, we want people in offices, when they go to meetings, to take it, to use it for their notes and that kind of thing. And this is a big year. The hardware improvement our partners have brought forward this year are really fantastic. You know, getting it into retail, getting students going with it. So we're seeing a good uptick. We've more than doubled, but we're not mainstream yet, but we're committed to get there.
Yeah. This is going to air, I think, right before the PDC. And I'm getting around and meeting the Office 12 teams and the Windows Vista teams, and there's some really interesting things coming out. What interests you the most in both of those products?
Well, the PDC is a great phenomena, and I'm really thrilled to get to show off a lot of the progress we've had and talk about the opportunity it creates for software developers. Office 12, just phenomenal what we've been able to do there. And it really has to do with Office as a platform. You know, we've always talked about that, but the way you connected through Office always had to be through sort of its user interface and command structure. Now with the magic of XML, we let people feed data in and out of those Office applications in a very straightforward fashion. And so that, you know, all these people who dreamed about XML and what it would allow and where it was going, Office 12 is largely a realization of that. And Office 12 as well is just a cool thing. You know, the people at the PDC probably use Office and they'll see some things there that they'll make them a lot more effective.
Yeah. Isn't the reign of the geek over? I mean, if you were 18 again, would you still be going into computers?
Absolutely.